Apparently that the EU is beginning to censor the entire internet. And apparently it's forcing age verification monthly. So Chibidoki, well, not Chibidoki, I mean Chibi Reviews uploaded specifically a video on this, and apparently the EU has begun censoring. I feel sorry for all my EU brothers and sisters over there, in my personal opinion. I feel kind of sorry for them, actually, to be honest. Let me hold up a second. Let me see.
Bad news, but today I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news. There's a lot that's been going on lately with the EU and the UK when it comes to the censorship of the internet. It's a topic that I have talked about considerably on the channel for the last few months.
US is
and I feel
next.
like it's time to
Doesn't
sit
affect
down and
me.
talk about it because things are starting to heat up in the last few days. First off, we need to get into what just happened today and how people are reacting to the overall news. So this is a very well-known politician in Japan commenting on the situation with the DSA, the Digital Service Act, that the EU has recently passed and is in effect. For those that need a brief rundown, basically the DSA and the EU is more or less censorship. It will force multiple platforms or the entire internet to implement age verification, face scanning technology, and pretty much more or less spy on everyone that accesses the internet. And so it's obviously not good. It's an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, of course it is.
And the EU and the UK and a bunch of other governments around the world are more or less saying the reason why this type of stuff is being implemented is to protect children or think of the children.
That's such a lie. That is such a lie that it's supposed to be protect the children and it's for the children. No, it's not. It's not. It's not for the children. Oh, I'm snitching on you if you censor the US. Your mom is censoring the US.
And I've said this over and over again, but it's very obvious it's not about that. It's more or less just about censoring people, stopping you from having wrong think,
That's
and also
crazy.
just completely silencing.
What's wrong with the EU, man? What is wrong with them?
Government at that
They hella
time.
became corrupt or something.
Let's talk about what this politician from
Jesus
Japan is
Christ.
now talking about when it comes to the situation.
What is happening? What's going on,
dude? It will impose a fine of approximately 21 billion yen, which is $141 million, on X, aka Twitter. This marks the first official violation determination under the Digital Services Act, which regulates SNS and other platforms. The reasons cited includes changes that allow anyone to obtain paid verification badges, therefore eroding trust, and refusals to disclose certain data to researchers. The United States is strongly opposing the move, with Vice President Vance issuing a warning. The intensifying EU internet regulations are emerging as a threat to freedom of expression for overseas countries, including Japan.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. If EU wants to do that, if the EU wants to censor the internet, this is what I want to do. Separate them from the internet. Let them have their own ecosystem over there. Let them become North Korea, basically, you know? Let them fund their own internet. Let them fund their own phones. Let them fund their own shit over there. Let them do everything over there. We'll see what happens, you know? Let them do it. Let them do it by themselves. Separate the internet away from the EU. Pull out all the internet providers, pull out all the shit, and let them do it themselves over there. If they want to become like North Korea, let them do it. Just let them do it on their own, you know?
More or less, to get to the gist of it, this issue with the DSA from the EU that's affecting all of the EU, not just, let's say, UK, is now affecting pretty much a bunch of countries, all the countries around the world. And it's really crazy that one law for an entire, like, section of the world is
censor the world.
everybody.
We're gonna censor your mom with the BBL, okay, alright? Shut your bitch ass up, alright? I don't want to hear it from you, alright? Like I said, if they want to control over there that specific region or whatever the fuck, and the US says no, they don't want to do that, or anywhere or any other parts of the world that don't want to do that or so, just pull out. Just have all of those internet providers pull out and let them do it themselves. Let them make their own internet over there, you know?
And
that's all I gotta say.
that they can kind of rein in the internet and censor everybody if they say the wrong thing. And you can see kind of where the original post here from JD Vance,
it's so stupid in my personal opinion.
This is what he said yesterday and in the afternoon. Rumors swirling that the EU Commission will fine X hundreds of millions of dollars for not engaging in censorship.
That's so stupid.
The EU should be supporting free speech, not attacking American companies over garbage. So
actually, they shouldn't even be attacking American companies in general, to be honest. I just don't understand this logic specifically. Like, the everything. The EU over there is like, its own thing, right? And then America is its own thing, right? I'm just talking about like countries in general, right? Just the countries in specifically. Like if they wanna control a specific part of their place or so, or whatever the fuck is going on over there. Like honestly, it's like if they want to control it over there, let them control it. And let's see how long that'll last. Let's see how long that'll truly last. And then just have everything else pull out of the country. And then if they want to censor it, hey man, you go right ahead, be my guest. But we're just gonna be over here on this side doing our own thing at the end of the day. Whatever happened to that day or so where like if you want to do your own thing, do your own thing, like separate from one another. I don't know, man. This is weird.
More or less here, this was before the information came out earlier this morning, but yes, Twitter is getting sued because they're not.
That's wild to hear that Twitter is getting sued.
And allowing
Twitter is getting sued.
And this type of ruling from the DSA is pretty much more or less hitting every single site. Any site that is online is most likely going to be getting hit by the DSA.
That's so
from the
stupid.
EU. This is kind of very similar to what happened to 4chan. If you remember, about 2 months or 3 months ago, 4chan was hit by a lawsuit and all that, and 4chan's like, we're not going to comply. We're American. Screw you. And we saw kind of where that went. And we'll see where that goes with time, kind of ticks on by. But the point of the matter here is that JD Vance and probably Trump and all of them are aware of the ongoing situation with the EU. And even if you dislike politicians, you dislike Vance or Trump or whatever, Republicans, Democrats, whatever, the point is it's being talked about. And I think that this is a very important thing to discuss because it's very obvious that it's a bad situation.
Of course it is. Censorship is bad,
censoring, creative freedom within art and games.
Better break their pockets if they don't fall in line. I'm gonna break your mom's pockets in a second.
Now, I'm gonna be honest here. Twitter is not a perfect platform. It definitely does have some things that are a problem.
To be honest, Twitter is a lot more better compared to many years ago, okay?
But it is definitely the closest that you could possibly get to, people just expressing themselves freely. Once again, I'm not saying it's perfect. It's definitely not. But I think that the fact that you have the EU really just trying to hammer down and reel in X really just goes to show the inherent issue here, that it's not about protecting children, it's stopping people from being able to communicate and say what they want to actually say. And so this entire fine that they're trying to do just goes to showcase the priorities, that they don't actually care about kids.
No, they don't.
It doesn't
of course
just
they
stop
don't.
at that. We need to talk about how we got here in the first place, which is the EU chat control, which is basically more or less the EU.
Hey man, if the EU wants to control its own region of its chat, let it do it itself. Keep the rest of the world out of your goddamn mouth, in my personal opinion. Honestly, my country would not approve of this shit whatsoever.
To spy on everybody's private messages. For instance, let's say you're on Discord and you're messaging your friend privately, they're able to spy in to see what you want to do or what you're talking about. Like if you're saying, hey dude, you want to go get some coffee later? They're seeing what you're doing. Or, you're saying, hey man, you want to play this game later today?
I guess we're gonna result back to like what is it, the 1700s or so, where people start using pigeons to start contacting people now. That's the only privacy you'll ever get, Like, honestly, like straight up, just send pigeons to each other. Trained pigeons to send messages from one another instead of doing digital. We're literally going back in the Stone Ages, to be honest. This is crazy. Remember when this guy said One Punch Man could turn things around? Guess what? It didn't.
You want to go watch this movie or
That's
something?
pretty funny.
They're spying in on you. And this is more or less what the EU is trying to do with their chat control as well, which is reaching closer and closer to being fully passed.
That's crazy.
But there has been some
I feel sorry for the EU.
Removed, but things that also have been added in to basically force in age verification and age assignment measures. And
like everything in that specific region of the EU is
to be able to
completely
access
fucked.
the internet. For those that have no idea what I'm talking about, there was a thing that appeared about a week ago to where you will need to age verify yourself if you live in the EU and
That's
the UK.
crazy.
You'll have to age verify yourself like every 2 to 3 months, which is ridiculous.
2 to 3 months?
Showcases that it's not about more or less protecting children. It's because if you've already verified yourself, why would you need to continuously re-verify yourself? It's more or less saying like,
that's weird.
Oh, we just want to make sure we know what you're doing at all times. And, if you're, here...
Yo, dude, they becoming like North Korea, bro. I ain't gonna fucking lie, man. They're really gonna become like North Korea. Like I said, if the EU wants to control their part of their country or whatever the fuck they want to do over there, I just say, hey, yo, you do your own thing, but leave us out of this shit, okay? If you want to become North Korea, here's a stick, here's some rocks, knock yourself out, have fun with it. We're gonna be over here partying over here on fucking our fun, like, you know, our fun version of like yeah, of Epstein Island, you know.
You're at this certain location at all times. It's very clear it's meant to spy
We're gonna have
on
a
you and
fun
know
Diddy
what you're
party
doing at
over
any
here.
given time.
Shit, man.
It's
Jesus
not a good look. And the
Christ.
entire situation with the EU is just getting worse as time goes on. And this is
Dude,
affecting a lot of
they're
countries,
becoming
by
like
the way.
North
This
Korea,
isn't, like,
man. I ain't gonna
necessarily
fucking lie, to
just
be
an
honest.
EU problem or a UK problem.
Are we gonna
There's
have
stuff
World
going
War
on
III
in
with the
Australia, which is
UK?
about to be
Question
hit by
mark?
a lot of stuff going on.
Like the
You know,
whole
the United States
UK
as well
like
is also
Parliament and
experiencing
everything.
a lot of things with the COSA Act, and there's a lot of
Shut
sites
your
and
bitch
stuff
ass
where a lot
up,
of states
okay?
within the United
Kids be
States
saying the
that
N-word
are
all the damn
passing
time,
laws to
alright?
force
I hear them in
age
Call of Duty all the
verification
time,
on
alright? I
certain
don't want to
sites.
hear it.
And, you know, it's not good. It's definitely a sweeping effect. It's getting a lot worse, and it's getting out of hand, honestly. And I've said often already...
Dude, if World War III gets created because of the UK and, like, the EU Parliament and, like, all this other shit, that's gonna be so fucking funny, to be honest. It'll be really fucking hilarious.
When I make these videos, it's kind of weird all this is happening at once. Like, you have a bunch of different countries that are all in the Western world pretty much kind of pulling a China and trying to censor the internet or stop people from saying the wrong
It's not
thing
even
in their
China, it's
eyes.
North Korea,
It's not a good
bro.
look, and it feels like it's just more or less all connected. Once again, call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but it is weird. But overall, to get to the bottom of the situation, EU right now is coming after social media sites. They're trying to censor them.
That's
they're trying
crazy
to get,
that they're coming
fine
after
and sue
them.
them to comply, to give over your data. And right now, X or Elon Musk is trying not to do that, and even, the vice president is commenting on the situation, which means that there is definitely going to be a fight against this. And honestly, what I think is going to happen, if I had to take an educated guess, either A, the EU is going to back off from doing this towards X and try to go after a lesser fish, smaller fish, or this is going to cause maybe X and a bunch of different sites to branch off away from the EU and the UK and segregate the internet, which is definitely something that I have talked about already on the channel.
They should segregate it, to be honest. Like, if the EU and the UK want to do their own thing over there, they want to censor it. I'd be like I said, give them a bunch of sticks and rocks and let them knock each other out. Straight up, let them knock each other out.
That there's probably eventually what's going to happen. You're going to have multiple sections of the internet completely split off from each other because of different country regulations when it comes to censorship. And so, like, there's going to be a different version of Google, a different version of Reddit, a different version of Twitter, a different version of whatever site you want to go to be able to access the internet. And it'll be just more or less different regions of the internet, and it'll be completely different from a different other country. That's more or less what I think is going to happen if the censorship is not reined in, because that's the only, I guess, option at this point. But
like I said, UK, EU wants to do their own thing. Let's make them a PvP server, right? Or a PV. Technically, it's gonna be a PvE server, anyways. Let's make a PvE server for them over there by themselves on their little island all the way over there, while the rest of the planet will just stick together and they can just go fuck off over there in the corner,
I'll leave it at that.
They can just do that.
Talk about this, get everybody up
That's
to date
crazy,
with it,
though.
because a lot has been going on, and as this situation continues to evolve, I will talk about it and fill you all in what's going on. But
yes,
right now,
please.
it's bad
I need
news.
to know
It's
about this.
not
to be
really
honest.
good. I mean, it's very clear. It's getting a lot of recognition, or a lot of people are becoming aware of the situation. I mean, you have, like, for instance, JD Vance talking about it. What's getting even
literally
like
nothing
the
has
man,
been happening
Trump
over
or
here.
whatever.
Everything's been
The fact
normal.
that
I've been
we're
using the
talking about
internet
it is good
normally.
news.
Nothing's
It
been
means that
happening
there
over here.
is going to be more people's eyes on this situation.
I don't think
and
so.
It's not going to slide under the radar and slowly erode people.
The U.S. is supposed to be like that one country that's supposed to be freedom.
Unaware, or the main general populace being
Spain is following the UK. When I was there, I couldn't see X post because I needed to verify it for some. Damn, dude. Then I probably wouldn't want to go visit. I probably wouldn't want to go visit over there in the whatever that specific country in general. I don't think I would probably like anywhere in that region. I don't want it. I don't want to go over there whatsoever. Fuck that, dude. There are enough retarded politicians in the US that want the exact same stuff too. Well, just say no. Don't vote for them. Don't vote for those people. That's it. Just don't vote for them.
So it is good news that it's being talked about, and I'm doing my part to spread this information for more people talk about it and become aware of it. So yeah. But
you mean your mom is gonna censor the US? Is what you're saying?
It does help me out a lot. Please leave a comment on the video. It helps with the
great.
algorithm and more
Good video
people
though.
see this
Should
video
be.
and
Thanks
to
for the
become aware of what's
info or
going
so on
in the
that.
world. But be safe, guys. Chibi out.
That's crazy, to be honest. That's wild to see that. Oh yeah, and apparently
I hate to be
apparently
the
we have
bearer
some
of bad-
apparently we also have some updates or so apparently on the rent-a-girlfriend thing, which we'll probably talk about it tomorrow anyways, but overall that is pretty fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie, that is a pretty crazy kind of situation itself. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Oh yeah, there is a talk about the age verification in my country too, because there are pretty bad bully cases recently. Okay. What they said go KYS or something or on the internet or something like that? Brother in Christ, man. I love it how people are trying to censor the internet, man. It's crazy. Not voting is not a solution, especially not in a two-party system. Just no, I'm saying like not vote for them is what I'm saying. Cows, use more than 2 brain cells, okay? All right? Just don't vote for them. Vote for somebody else. Nah, one girl died recently. I know that one girl died recently from the cosplay community because she was getting bullied or so on the internet by these little weirdos or so in the anime community. I know that for a fact. I know that happened just recently. But it's like, I think in my personal opinion, I don't think kids should be on the internet to begin with, right? That's like my first thought, right? Kids, I think the internet would be a lot more better if kids were literally not on the internet. But we got to find a way or so to, stop the kids to coming on the internet, But if you're an adult or something like that, I think it's fine. But that's what I'm saying personally. I only have 2 brain cells and rub together to form a thought. I want parents to control their kids, not some stupid lawmakers. Yeah, that's true, but do you think retarded parents are gonna actually like take care of their kids? Probably not, in my personal opinion. Let's be honest here. They're probably not the smartest people in the entire world. There are some people who have kids that shouldn't have kids. But hey, man. God put a penis in a vagina in this planet for some random parent reason to procreate, But hey, it is what it is. But hey, what do you expect? Anyways, that's the end of the video. Like I said, kind of shitty in my personal opinion that the EU is trying to censor everything. But I think in my personal opinion, we just make a different server for them while everyone else on the reasonable side will have their own server. We'll have the server all together while the EU can go over there in La La Land with their server, and they can control whatever the hell they want to do over there. If they want to become like North Korea, be my guest, in my personal opinion. Let them do it. Like I said, give them sticks and stones and let themselves literally knock each other out, Just read the Rent-a-Girlfriend's new chapter. Spoiler alert, they are still teasing. Things get a little bit more steamy, but no blowing back out. I still bet Ken will stop. We don't know. I'm so curious on that, so I don't want my own server, Satch. I'm talking... Cows, you really are not using your brain today. I'm not going to explain it. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And,